Obviously, AJ's expressed his frustration. How do you kind of navigate through that as play caller and as coach?
Yeah, I think really when you look back at just from my time being here with him all the way back to 22, we've had a really strong relationship. And so even throughout the year, him and I have great talks. Even today, yesterday, like there's nothing changed, in our relationship. He's in my office a ton, hanging out, talking about football, talking about life, talking about things, what we can do differently, what we're doing currently. So I think from that standpoint, like nothing really changes. And he knows kind of how I feel about him and where we want to go and what we're trying to do. And obviously, like he's a main part in this offense. And when we game plan, you always want to look to 11, 26, 6, and 88. That's where the ball needs to go. And it just kind of goes from there. So I think when you look at our relationship all the way back to 22, it's nothing's really changed. And him and I talk continuously pretty much about everything.
AJ's put up big numbers over the past few years. This
Hmm.
year's a bit of an anomaly. I was wondering, I know it's a bit X's and O's, but is there something different the defense is doing this year that you could explain as to why maybe this year it's been a little tougher to get him the ball?
I wouldn't say it's different. I think if you look at the style of defense we've played this year, kind of on a consistent basis, we've played obviously top tier defenses and the pass rush and things like that, and we've done a pretty good job against them. I think it's just kind of been the situations we've been in and teams we've played kind of week after week has just had different games. Obviously, a couple weeks ago we had the Minnesota game. We had two receivers for over 100 yards, and then we had the two backs over 100 against the Giants, and then this one kind of felt a little, obviously not like we would like at all. Felt more like Kansas City kind of. So I think as coaches, we look at that and we try to figure out, is there something that's constantly showing up? I wouldn't say it's the same thing every week. I think we're kind of in those spots where when you're game planning, you're still constantly adjusting. I know this year more than before, we've had a lot of different things once we get out there, and we're adjusting constantly. So like, a lot of people say wait to halftime. Well, for us, it's literally been after the first series. It's like, okay, we got to start to adjust now and find things and kind of work on different plays and talk through plays that, hey, is this the coverage we thought we were going to get? No. So now we got to look to this and look to that. So I think there's a little bit of a difference from that standpoint. I think there's been more change within the game rather quickly rather than kind of game to game. It's been a little bit different, if that makes sense.